I have never experienced gardening in February right here in Zone 6B. But today, it's sunny and bright out. The soil's not frozen, so I decided to come out here and do a little bit of cleaning up in my garden. I'm here just pulling up all the spent vegetables from last season, and I am going to just put it in the soil and allow for it to break down. But before I do that, I'm going to take my machete, or we call it a cutlass, and I am going to chop these greens up. There's still some greenery in it, so that makes for good nitrogen for the soil. And so I'm going to just take my machete and chop this up and add it to my soil so that it can feed the soil and the worms, and my soil can be healthy. I'm also going to add these dry leaves, which acts as carbon for the soil, and the green is nitrogen. So I'm going to chop this all up, and now what I'm going to do is make a hole in the soil, and I'm going to just add the greens in there and add the browns in there and cover it up just like so. This method of enhancing your soil and feeding your soil, I learned it from Panther Garden TV. So if you want to know how to fix your soil and make it better, go over to his channel and check it out. You know, because he uses just natural stuff from the garden itself and from the leaves from the trees that has fallen in the fall time, and he just feeds it right back to his soil, and he has beautiful soil over there. So if you want to see how to fix your soil and to amend your soil the natural way, you can go check his channel out, because I learned that from watching his videos. And so I'm going to go through this entire bed, and I'm just going to cover all the materials here, the leaves and all the old vegetables that I had growing in here. I'm just going to cover all that and feed it right back into the soil, just like this. Look how loose this soil is. Usually it's frozen, and when you try to dig, you can't get through it because it's all ice in there, and it's, like I said, it's February. And look how loose this soil is. So I'm going to take advantage of the weather and take advantage of the time I have. I can extend my season and do a little enhancement in my garden. So I'm going to just come out here and try to amend my soil as best as I can, just using the natural materials that are out here. Look at this. Look at all these dry leaves. I got to clean all this up. I did some cleaning in the fall, but obviously I'm not done. Look at this soil. See, it's not frozen, so I have to go through all these beds right here, you know, and amend the soil and bury all these leaves so it can break down over time and feed the soil back. I don't have to do a whole lot with it, just give it back that natural material that it's given me. So I'll go down this bed also, and I'll pull these kale out. It's still green, but it's got some damage from the cold weather that we've been having. And I'm going to add some dry leaves with that again, and I'm going to just bury that in the soil and let it feed the soil, let it feed the earthworms, because they're going to help break that down. So I'm going to do this entire bed because I have so much good natural material that I can use back into the soil. Here I have a leek growing that's sprouted up, and it's growing back, so I'm not going to mess with that. I'll leave it right there. And over here I have some onions or garlic. Oh, I think it's garlic. Let's see what it is. Yep, I think I have some elephant garlic here, and they're starting to sprout. I did protect them with some straw to overwinter it. There's still greenery there, but it's growing, and it'll spring back up in the springtime. And these garlic, I planted them November 1st, 2022, and that's in the fall. So they're right in there overwintering, and like I said, they're gonna spring up in the springtime. I have some thyme going here, and it's still green despite the frost and the freezing temperatures that we've endured. They're still doing well, so they're perennials and they're gonna come back. Here are some more garlic springing up right there, and this entire bed is full of garlic. I also have another bed here with garlic in it that I didn't protect, or actually those are leeks, I believe. Those were leeks, and this bed here has garlic in it. So I've planted a lot of garlic, but I didn't protect these with the straw that I protected the other bed with that I showed you earlier. But they're fine, they're green, they're springing up. And these ones, I planted them on November 3rd, I believe. Yep, November 3rd. There the sign is. So I marked it and I dated it just so I won't forget. In here is my beds with, I believe that's asparagus. But that's going to spring back out. And I did an experiment to overwinter some potatoes, only because the potatoes, if you leave some of it in the soil, like if you don't harvest all of it, like they would normally naturally just spring right back out. So I decided in the fall that I would go ahead and plant some russet potatoes right here, and I would also plant some, let's see what this is, some type of yellow potatoes, I believe. And I planted that on November 3rd also, 2022. Those I covered with some straw, and we're going to see what it's going to do. I have to amend all of this. This is some kale that has seen better days, but I'm going to pull those up, feed it back to the soil, and add some more natural materials with it. There is my bee balm. It's going to reseed itself. And I'm going to have lots of bee balm coming in. And this is usually my vegetable bed. This here is some Swiss chard. Actually, this is a kohlrabi. It's all done. I'm going to use all these leaves here right back into the garden. I have some Swiss chard in here, and if you look, you can still see some greenery. They take the cold very well. Look at that. It's springing back out. That's Swiss chard right there, guys. So that's really cold hardy. We had some terribly cold days. So if this survives the cold weather, you know that it's really easy to grow this and have an abundance of it. It grows better in the cooler weather, just like kale. So I'm going to add all these leaves right back to the soil, like I said. I'm probably going to leave these Swiss chard right in there and let it spring back out. Let me just show you the root. I'm going to pull this one just to show you the greenery. I'm going to try to get way down in there and pull that out. Let's see if I can get it. It's not frozen at all, by the way. There we go. Look at the root on it. It's still green. And this is a rhubarb. I think it's called a rhubarb Swiss chard. It's a red one. There you go. See that? The roots are still alive. So you can definitely overwinter your Swiss chard if you like, if you live in a colder region. And here I have some leek. Again, I believe just a few just coming out from the soil. And that's the ones that I missed, I guess. Or maybe this, I don't know what the deal is with this, but I didn't plant any leek there last year. But I have leek coming out. Here are some of my blueberry bushes. And they're already budding, as you can see. Look at that. I'm going to have so much more growth on those this year. And I think I have 7 of these planted here. And I have some more in a different location. But they're still alive. And blueberry needs their chill hours. So they're fine in the cold in my zone. And we're just gonna have lots and lots of blueberries. But back to the garden and the soil. This right here is my asparagus bed, and because asparagus is perennial, I am gonna make sure I put some good natural materials in here. Look at that. This is already spent, so I will just crumble this, add it to the soil with some other materials, some chicken compost and all that. But the crown is in there and the soil protected, so I'm just gonna amend that soil and feed that soil. Now this here is one of the first fruit trees that I've had, and it is a Georgia peach with the white flesh. And because it's in my garden here, Belle of Georgia peach, because it's in my garden here and grew so much, it's a prolific grower. Look at the trunk, look at the size of the trunk of this tree. I had to prune it so very well because it was just growing too crazy. I mean, it's an old tree now, but I cut a lot of it off because it was covering my garden beds. But as you can see, it put out some new branches already, and there's already buds, so I'm definitely going to still be getting fruits from this tree. It's right over my garden beds, and I don't want that much coverage. I have back here some raspberries that I have to prune. I have a lot of work to do, a lot of cleaning up. These are more kohlrabi that I didn't harvest. It goes right back to the soil. Some people may say, oh, you're wasting your food, but I harvested a lot of it. I preserved a lot of it. Look at that good soil. If that soil ain't good, you ain't seeing any worms in there. So here's the reason you should feed your garden with whatever the garden gives you. And that's a perfect example of it. Look at that soil. Beautiful soil that the microorganism loves, that they enjoy. So you just got to put in the work. Like, if you know better, do better. Feed the garden what the garden needs. Whatever you put in the garden, that's what you're going to get out of it. Look at that. Nothing frozen here. Nothing's icy. Isn't that something? February in Massachusetts, we don't have frozen soil. This is something else. So this soil feels good, but I'm going to add some stuff to it, natural materials to it. Over here, I have some saffron, and obviously they're multiplying. They're shooting up, but they're going to come up, multiply, they're going to die back, and they're going to spring up again in the fall, because that's when the flowers come out and you can harvest your saffron, and that's in the fall time. Over here, I have some shallots and some red onion planted. I planted that last fall. And right here, I have some rosemary. And it is gone. I think it's really gone. I don't know, but I'm going to leave it in there. Maybe there's life in the root. Who knows? But yeah, this is my little project I have going on, and I'm excited about it because the weather is better. Right here, I have some red Norland potatoes that I put in November 3rd. Covered it with some straw to protect it. Over here, I have some, let's see what I have here. And some of the stuff I protected it with the straw. But this is some ginger that I put in there just to see if it's going to hold out in the cold weather. I planted that also November 3rd. And over here, I have some potatoes. Some more red Norland potatoes that I planted November 3rd, 2022. So this is all natural material, straw, leaves, spent vegetables that I'm feeding right back into the soil to keep it healthy, to encourage the bugs, encourage the dog. Look at that. She is something else. But yeah, so this is, I think this is a great way to fix your soil. You allow it to rest in the fall and winter months so it can come out healthy for the springtime, and you can have lush vegetables in abundance. Over here, I have my trellis. I'm not sure what I'm going to plant on it next year, but last year I planted pole beans right here, and it ran up this trellis. Maybe I'll plant butternut squash, who knows. And now I'm thinking of expanding my garden even more, because as you can see, I do have fruit trees in my lawn, but I can use this whole side right here to put more vegetables and stuff. I can make more raised beds. Look at all this space I have here, because this lawn, I cannot eat it. I don't care to maintain it. I don't maintain it. And you know, I can grow my food. I can grow more of my food actually in this big space. Look at all that space that's wasting. And I prefer to be able to plant food right there instead of having just the lawn and spending time there to maintain the lawn. I do not care for the lawn grass. I don't care for it at all. I don't care to fix it. I don't care to buy grass seeds or none of that stuff. I have this side of my yard here that I can use. You know, the grass will grow, weeds would come up in it, and I don't care. I'm not going to maintain it. Over here, as you can see, let me take you to my orchard. Look at that. Beautiful soil I'm building here with those wood chips. I already had some down, and if you were looking at my videos, you would see that we got some more in, and we're just feeding this soil and maintaining this soil the most natural way we could. Look at that. Do I need any more lawn? No. Do I need any more yard? No. I'm going to plant food in the space that I have, and it's way more than we need right now. I don't feel the need to go out and get more land to grow more food, you know, because more land comes with more cost. And if you're into it like that, then go for it. But we're satisfied with what we have. We can do a whole lot with what we have. I have berries here, and these are wild berries. These here are not wild berries. So I just went out and got some wild berries to add with these that I have here. And that makes for better pollination and better quality of the fruit. See, I have my grapes here. I have fruit trees, my plums, more peaches. My grapes is growing here on this trellis. I gotta figure it out, and I better figure that out while it's dormant. I have a few apple trees over here also, and I need to be pruning that, but because it's a lot of work, you know, I'm just gonna take it day by day. But my concern is fixing my soil, amending my soil, giving it the leaves. Look at all these leaves and wood chips I have here just to fix the soil. We also have here a back garden where I planted some herbs and some vegetables last year. So I gotta clear this up, clean it up, and you know, add some good composted soil here so I can plant more, just amend the soil. Look at all these leaves. I have a lot of cleaning up to do and figure out what I'm going to do with this space, but I am excited about that, and the weather is making me more excited because the soil is not frozen at all. Look at that. There's no snow here, there's no ice, and usually this is February. We get the worst of the winter in January and February here in Zone 6B, Massachusetts. So I'm excited to get in the land, get outdoors, and get growing. Over here I have some Egyptian walking onion. They're already coming up, sprouting. You can see the greenery. And these strawberries I have here in this planter, I had them in ground and they were going too crazy. This is some thyme I had here, more strawberries, and now I have them in these planters so I can control them better. Here I have my planters that I'm excited to grow in. Also, I plant herbs there. Usually, sometimes I plant lettuce. I have them going around. I think I have like 5 of them, and I'm looking to buy some more. They're kind of pricey, but this is my backyard garden space that I'm excited about. Dora is there messing with the chickens as usual because all she wants to do is play with them. But yeah, guys, this is my growing space that I'm excited about. Come on, Dora, let's go. But yeah, I'm excited for gardening season. How excited are you? this, I have my water catchment here. And with the way things are going right now, I'm thinking about getting 2 more of those IBC tanks or totes. And this stand here, this brick thing, my hubby built it last year to put them on top of it. And you know, we got our stuff going on here and our prepping going on. We have a lot of wood, as you can see, we can use for heat. We do have wood we can also cook on, and we separate it by type, what we can burn outdoors and what we can burn indoors. We have some split here, we cook on that, that's oak. We have some white birch, we have some pine that we are gonna burn outdoors, you know, just to keep us warm. Oh, let me show you this, guys. If you think I'm kidding, this is a bag of blood meal that I bought last year, and believe it or not, I only use, look how much that's still in there. I don't know anything about this stuff, but I saw it on YouTube and I decided to try it. I don't know that it made a difference, but I do not care to use that stuff. I didn't grow up using it, so it's still sitting there. And let me take you right back here to where I have this 511. I also saw that on YouTube and decided, went away from the norm, the things that I learned, and I went and I bought this 511. Yes, it was expensive, but guys, look where it's sitting, because I am totally not interested in it. Look at that, it's sitting right here still. Look how much that is in that bottle still, and I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'll throw it out, but yeah, I don't care for this stuff. I'd rather use the leaves. I'd rather use the spent vegetables to make richer soil. So this is a little bit of my winter garden tour. I am excited about gardening season because it seems like it's going to come earlier this year, and that has me psyched. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time right here on Fifi's Journey.